Welcome back to Cidery from Scratch, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. In this video, our main goal is to test out the increase of tannins by adding black tea to a few of our ciders that we're going to make today. One cider, we're going to add black tea and then sugar to increase the specific gravity. The next cider, we're going to use black tea and honey to increase the specific gravity. And then the third one, we won't have any black tea, we'll just sweeten it with honey. So the main reason we're hosting and having these videos is because we want to bring you guys along on our journey to find ideally our staple ciders. As you well know, we're on a mission to start a cidery here in the next couple of years, and the main thing we have to do is find out what our staple ciders are going to be. We're looking to have 3 staple ciders, so we're testing out tannins, we're testing out sugars, we're testing out juice versus concentrate, etc., etc. We're going to nail down this process with some cheaper ingredients and then branch out into more of the fruit itself, pressing, etc., etc. So again, the reason we're doing these videos in this series of videos is to test out the different types of cider so that we can get to eventually our staple recipes. All right, let's begin today's first step. We are going to add our gravity increasers. So we've got sugar, honey, and honey. So I'll go ahead and take 1 cup of sugar. One cup of honey. Perfect. Now to make sure we get all of that stuff, we'll start working on our concentrate. We're gonna add 1 thawed can of apple juice concentrate. And I'm gonna dump it in my cup here and get most of that honey out. Then I'll grab 2 12-ounce cans of water. 2 cups of honey, because that is what we added to our prior batch. We want to compare the 2 cups of honey to 2 cups of sugar. Using a full 12-ounce can, bring it around the honey. Try to get as much of that honey out as possible. Now 2 12-ounce cans of water. Now we'll go ahead and add our apple juice. We are adding 64 ounces to each of the 3 mixtures. Okay. This one's a little bit short on liquid because we're not adding tea, so we'll go ahead and add a little bit more water to top it off at the end. 64 ounces of apple juice here. We have not added our water yet to this one, so after we add the apple juice, we'll also add the water. Actually, let's add the water first. We are adding 24 ounces of water. Our 1 juice concentrate, and then 64 ounces of apple juice, and 64. Last step in this one is going to be to add our tea. Black tea, it's been steeping for a while. Go ahead and add 12 ounces to these first 2. Now we'll shake these around. Get that honey mixture settled in. All right, we'll leave these sit for about an hour. Let all those ingredients combine together. Then we'll take our reading. So it's been just over 30 minutes. We let these sit. I stirred them vigorously several times just to make sure. We took a reading at the beginning and then a reading just now to make sure that they were stabilized, and sure enough, they were. So our first 1 gallon carboy here has just under a gallon, and we're looking at a specific gravity of 1.073. This is our apple juice, apple concentrate, and sugar mixture. Then our second one here, it's sitting at 1.075, just above the other one. This one is the same, except instead of sugar, we used honey. And again, both of these, we added tea, black tea for tannins. And then our last one here, no black tea, apple juice, apple concentrate, water, 2 cups of honey, and we did end up adding 8 ounces of water. Gives us a specific gravity of 1.105, so this one's very high. All right, now that we've done that, we're going to get our yeast nutrient mixtures started. We're gonna use Go Firm. So I'm gonna get 1.9 grams hydrating. Going to add 15 milliliters of water to each one of these. Let that sit for 15 minutes. We'll check back in and add the yeast. We waited our 15 minutes on the yeast nutrient. That itself has been hydrating. And now we're going to add our Lalvin EC 1118 yeast, 1.5 grams per. Perfect. Now I'll add 10 more milliliters of water and give them all a stir. So we'll go ahead and stir all of these, wait 15 more minutes, and then we'll show you as we pitch the yeast. And there you have it. We'll touch base again probably tomorrow. That's when we'll need to add our next nutrient, Fermentate K, right at the end of the lag phase, which usually takes anywhere from 3 to 15 hours. It's been right about 15 hours since we last pitched our yeast in these 3 1-gallon carboys. So now we're going to add 1 gram of Fermentate K in each one of our silver jars here, and then we're gonna hydrate that with 10 milliliters of water. Let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, and then dump them in. All right, everyone, we're back. It's only been 3 days this time, and we've already reached 1/3 sugar depletion on all 3 of our ciders here. So today, we're going to be adding 1 gram of Fermentate K to each of these 3 ciders to make sure the yeast has enough nutrient to continue processing and fermentation. All right, now that we have 1 gram in each of these canisters, we're going to add 10 milliliters of water. We'll give them all a quick stir and set our timer. We've waited our time for the Fermented K to hydrate. Now we're gonna dump 1 gram into each of our 1 gallon carboys. It has been 8 days since fermentation began. Today we have taken our measurements already and we know that fermentation has finished. Over here at 8A, we're sitting at 10.1% alcohol at a 0.996 specific gravity. 8B, 9.8% alcohol at a 1.000 specific gravity. And then 8C, this one we did not think was gonna get all the way to 1 or less. It's currently at 0.996 specific gravity, 14.3% alcohol. That is obviously a little bit too high for us, so what we're going to be doing today is splitting that up into 2 different carboys, adding 96 ounces of apple juice. One of them is going to be the cider honey mixture with full apple juice. The other one's going to be with apple juice and 24 ounces of our cherry mixture. So first thing we're going to do is going to put that in our bucket here, add our ingredients, split it up between 2 different carboys. Now we're going to take our mixture after adding that apple juice, test out the specific gravity so we know where we're starting at during the secondary fermentation. So we're starting at 1.017. So if it drops from there in the next week or so, we'll know that we have to calculate the alcohol content. So in the past few videos, you've seen us use the refractometer. The refractometer is super nice because it's easier. You only need a few drops of your liquid to measure that specific gravity. Unfortunately, once you start fermenting and alcohol is in the mixture, it dilutes and is hard for the refractometer to track how much sugar is in that. So what we've moved toward, and what you'll see moving forward at the end of our videos, we'll check our specific gravity with our hydrometer. That will give us a better reading, a more accurate reading, and tell us where our specific gravity sits. So for that, all you have to do, you take your cylinder, somewhere between 200 and 250 milliliters, add your juice to that cylinder, and then drop your hydrometer in. Now that our first mixture is set up with just the apple juice, we're going to add cherry juice on top of the apple juice for this one, so it'll be an apple cherry. Now we'll put that mixture into a carboy. Okay, we just sanitized our hydrometer and we'll take a reading of the apple cherry mixture. It is right around 1.022. All right, now we're gonna take our 8B mixture, rack it into a second carboy here, leaving behind all of the spent yeast, all of the lees, and then we'll add 24 ounces of apple juice that we've made from concentrate to the mixture to give it a little sweetness, add some sugar. We'll take the specific gravity, and then in a week or so, we'll see if anything has happened during secondary fermentation. .006. All right, last but not least, we're gonna rack 8A and then add 36 ounces of apple juice. Slight mess. Still learning how much to add to them. That is 1.008. Okay, just to recap, what we did today is we wrapped all of our primary fermentation vessels into secondary fermentation vessels, and then we added some sweeteners to those to hopefully give it a little bit more appley / apple cherry taste. So starting over here, which you saw first, we had 8C, which is our highest one at 14% alcohol, so we wanted to dilute it and give it a little bit of sweet. So we took apple juice in 8C apple, and we added cherry juice to 8C cherry along with the apple juice. So we'll see what those taste like at the end. 8B, we used 24 ounces of apple juice, and 8C, we ended up having more apple juice than planned, and we used 36 ounces of apple juice. So we're gonna wait 7 days or so, take a look at them, see what happened, and then we'll decide if we need to bottle or wait longer for them to sit in their fermentation vessels. After 4 long weeks, we're finally ready to taste test batch number 8. Here in front of us, we have batch 8A, which was the juice mixed with sugar and black tea. This one finished at 8.7% ABV. Then we have the juice with honey and black tea. This one finished at 9%. C was upwards of 14% alcohol when we were in our racking process. So we decided to split C up into 2 versions to dilute some of that alcohol content. We've got 8C with additional apple juice, 8C with additional cherry juice. The one with apple finished at 10.2%, and the one with cherry finished at 9.8%. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and crack these all open, see how they pop, if there's any carbonation, and then pour them in the glasses before we taste them. Listen in. Quite a bit of fizz. Quite a bit of fizz. You think you had more?
You can't go slow.
That one had a lot more. Ooh, that one had quite a bit more. Oh.
Do you want me to tip the glass in?
Yeah, it's fine. Oh. I don't think they could have gotten any closer.
Okay.
Ooh, red. We might need to do a little bit less priming sugar. There's a lot of carbonation. All right. What do you think about the color?
This looks like a strawberry wine.
Don't taste that one first.
I'm not. It smells strong. That's not good.
These 3, is it just me or they all look the same color?
Yeah, this one might be the like clearest kind of. I don't know. Yeah, they look the same.
Yeah, they all look the same.
And they have a lot of bubbles, all of them. That one's got the most.
All right, so in these first 2, we added black tea, see if there's any sort of mouthfeel at the end. So that's what we're gonna be looking for mostly, as well as comparing the sugar versus the honey. It's very fizzy, very carbonated. Might be too much carbonation. It's definitely too strong. Where are we sitting out here? That one's only at 8.7%, so that's the lowest of the group here.
I like it though.
It almost tastes,
Yeah.
I mean, it really does taste too strong.
Oh yeah.
But we
For
know
alcohol?
moving forward after this batch, between batch 7 and batch 8 is where we learned what we need to do, where we need to start as far as specific gravity goes. And now we're gonna focus on something between 5 and 7%, mostly in that 6% range.
I like it though.
8B. So this one has the honey in it. I don't know, I can't smell the honey. Can you smell any honey? Honey?
I can a little.
You can? I think the honey makes it so it doesn't taste as strong.
Remind me what the percentage?
9%.
Hi, buddy. That's too strong. There's like a to me, it tastes significantly stronger than that one, even though it's only 0.4 or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
For a cider, it's too much honey. If we're to make a mixture of apple cider and mead.
Yeah.
I could drink that though. That's not too terrible. I'd rather it not be 9%, but to me that's a lot better than the sugar one. But we also did find out maybe we shouldn't be diluting the black tea bags in water. Maybe just steeping it in the cider itself. So C is where we did 2 times the honey. So
okay.
You're probably not going to like this one. And then we added apple juice.
You can definitely smell the honey.
That's it. That one's 10%.
ABV? Uh-oh. It's the same. It's
Same.
good. You can just really taste the honey and smell that one.
Oh yeah, I can smell the honey. I like that a lot.
I think if you were to mix that and that, for me, it would be just enough honey where it doesn't taste too much like mead, and it would be a Cider, like a Cider that I would like.
I wish this was half the percent. I wish this was 5%.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. All right, let's do cherry. I'm excited about cherry. So this
I do
one's
like the color.
just barely at 10%. It's sitting at 9.8%. So 2 cups of honey, and we added apple juice and cherry juice during secondary fermentation.
I'm gonna say something. I don't like honey and cherry mixed.
Really? Okay. This is the driest one by far. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it.
But what we learned and tasting it is going along with what we thought. They're all way too strong. And so this next batch that we're doing is a little bit less, and we're gonna keep it, like you said, between 5 and 7.
Yeah.
And it's gonna taste a lot different.
All in all, we learned you don't like honey.
Yep.
So that's good. We learned that we need to be making more with cherry. We learned we shouldn't be increasing our starting gravity by so much because we're looking for alcohol content between 5 to 7.
And
which,
because now we know how to make it go down.
Yep.
So gravity all the way down to 1.000. We don't need to do that.
fermenting all the way down. Yep. Correct. All in all, this was our turning batch.
Yeah.
Batch number 9 is where we started to perfect the starting gravities. We fermented all the way down to where we're looking to get to at that 1.000 mark, and we'll see what those taste like. But all in all, we learned a lot from batch 8. We don't necessarily love batch number 8, but we learned a lot.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this start to finish cider process on batch 8. Thank you guys for your support, and we will catch you in the next video.
And remember, always follow your dreams.